everybody. Happy Labor Day. We are going to be playing some more Riven. We were gonna do um Valheim, a special like community thing with the split screen, but Mux wasn't feeling great. And then I was gonna do the No Man's Sky expedition, but for some reason, No Man's Sky, at least on new saves, is extremely unstable for me right now. We're just gonna continue our Mist series playthrough. I had a thought too, because I remember I was trying to figure out where that last dome was, but I think there's only two color options anyways, so like I could just guess. It's probably gonna be the best bet. I also didn't stop all of the domes. I'm wondering if I should do that before we do this. Okay, so this is back to Dome Island. Did I stop this dome? I can't remember. Button. Okay, and then I stopped this one, I think. I stopped this one. This is the only other one, I think. And then Map Island. I have to double check. Okay, so I did stop this one. Let's go see if we can even stop Map Island. I don't know if we can because it's got, the thing has been knocked off. Actually, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be able to stop it because you have to push it right when the gold one is facing you. So. Away we go. Wait, do I have to go person? Oh, right, that's right, that's right. Push button. Yeah, I'm hoping that they patch No Man's Sky soon. Okay. So. Okay, this one should be the purple ball right here. This one should be green. I think it was here. This one I don't know. This one is orange here. And then red here. And then this one, the spot is right here, so it's either blue or yellow. Nothing happened. Oh, wait. Oh, there's a button. I'm guessing it's blue. Let's try blue. Unless I've got everything wrong. Something happened. I mean, there's one of the domes on the sideline. We can try and see what it did. I'm writing down that that one was blue, just in case I need to know later. I mean, noises are happening now. I want to go to a dome and see what happened, if anything. Okay, so I don't know what the combination for these is yet. Or do I? Five. 9. 11. Oh wait, I did 13 in the wrong place, didn't I? See, what would this be? I don't know what this last number is. Maybe it's 20. What's 2? No, because 2 is like. Wait, hang on. 5, 10, 15. I'm doing it wrong. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I don't know how to know what this last number is. Unless I'm right and it's 5, 10, 15, 20? It's 20. Oh, just turn it off. Oh, you can leave it off and put it on. Because, yeah, if it's going to help him sleep. Okay, so I want to write down which is that each one needs. Okay, so the dome is... is that... Here goes nothing. So that goes to Riven. I'm doing a save. Because this is, I think, how I can get to the last dome. I'm gonna just call it just before going to square, because why not? Oh, it can't go that way. Okay. 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 Wait, what'd I do? There's a dude!
I apologize for the cage. I'm afraid this situation has often required of me a more primitive code of conduct than I might otherwise have chosen. I am Gen. I assume you've heard of me. Yes. Well, I suspect you have acquired some false information of who I am now. Not that my son would have lied to you about me. No, not Atris. It's just that, well, I'm sure he believes me to still be the depraved father I once was. Yes. I even tried to kill him once. God, if I had accomplished that, who knows what I would have become. A great father indeed, who tries to murder his own son. Thankfully, he trapped me on age 5, a prison of my own creation. No books, no precious inks, no ages to link to, nothing but my own foolish ambitions. That was 30 years ago. 30 years, 30 lifetimes, what does it matter? No sentence could be too harsh for the man I was. But I have changed.
You woke back up.
To be sure, the deeds of my past can never be completely atoned for, but my mission was an honorable one. I'm sorry, this is all a bit awkward. It's been a long time since I've attempted to persuade anyone of my intentions. Most of the people here have already made their minds up about me one way or another. I myself do not trust the words of most men, so I don't expect you to believe me. In the end, though, you may discover that I do have more than mere words to offer. Atris's choice of punishment has been hard on the people of Riven, and many have suffered because of it. The island has been steadily decaying for years, but according to my most recent measurements, it appears that the 5th age has entered its final days. Unless the villagers can be relocated soon, the island will collapse entirely and everyone will perish. It has taken me a long time to do it, but it appears that finally I'll be able to make some substantial amends to my past transgressions, especially in...
I don't trust him.
Well, I'm afraid I've had some trouble with Catherine and the moiety. In any society, there will always be a small percentage of the population with rebellious tendencies. Before Catherine appeared, the moiety, as they call themselves, had been relatively harmless. I mean, the natives here are a fairly violent people by nature, but I'd almost come to accept their presence. It seemed inevitable under the circumstances. Upon Catherine's return, however, their violence intensified considerably. It seems she's become some sort of religious savior to them. And as far as I can tell, she's come to believe this herself. So I've had no alternative. I had to separate her from her people. I must admit, though, that my concerns were not entirely for her safety alone. The actions of Catherine and the moiety have put my own life at risk on numerous occasions. Consequently, the lives of all the people here.
I mean, we did see in his
Therefore,
book
I
that he
must ask you to
supposedly was
refrain
trying to
from
save them,
any
but...
attempt to free her. Although I'm sure Atris desires it. Indeed. He must desire it with all his heart. But he is completely unaware of her recent state. I know that you arrived in the Fifth Age with a book which was immediately stolen from you. Needless to say, its reacquisition is of interest to me, though my personal history with the moiety does not give me much hope for it. Still, there is a chance you might somehow manage to retrieve it. If you do, I would ask for the safety of all concerned that you bring it to me at your earliest opportunity.
I mean, that was the plan originally anyway,
Then,
so...
to be honest, my reasons here are partly selfish. There is so much yet to be resolved between Atris and myself, especially in light of what has become of Catherine. In any case, my immediate concern is the completion of the sanctuary I've long promised to all the islanders. In the meantime, as a token of my good intentions, I will allow you free access to my linking books, crude though they may be, and to the rest of the Fifth Age. As for the stolen linking book, we should probably not meet again until you've recovered it. I will know if you succeeded and will await your return. Good luck with your search. I hope to see you back here shortly.
And now I wonder if I can go to the square one. Because you hadn't powered them yet. Because this is the one that I wasn't able to get to yet. Ah! I don't know what that was for then.
Yafe Adik. You made it. But how'd you get past Ken? He must really believe I've gone mad. I know what he's doing. He's watching you. He's waiting for you to make a mistake. He's hoping you'll lead him back to Dunny. You can't let Gen... Atris sent you to save me. But if Gen gets back to Dunny, he'll kill him. Find the moiety. They have the book. Be careful. Go then. If you won't help me, then I have nothing more to say.
Okay. Can I look around? No. So I'm wondering if the moiety are through that other book that we found that we had to solve the animal puzzles for. That's the next place I think I have to go. You're new upstairs. Yeah, you can try putting him down. If he needs to be held, I can hold him really quiet. As long as he doesn't like super act. Okay, so now we go back here. Closer so I can keep an eye on it. You want this? No? Weird smile? No? Huh? Get some sleep. Probably about his nap time anyways. Time for him to have a nap anyways. Okay, so I would want to go to the village island. That's gonna be the closest. I might not have stopped that one. I thought I did. Or maybe it just shows all of them still spinning. Get some sleep, okay? Oops. Go far. Because we have to go over where the water is. You're okay. shake the player if he'll bleep. It's too far. In here. Because the only other thing in this world, I think, that we haven't done is that, like, rocket telescope thing over the sewer. I don't know which buttons to push for that yet. Oh, I have to do this again. Okay. Fish. Scarab. Frog. Plesiosaur. Like a whale thing. Oh wait, no, it's the one that's like dead on with the thing. He might be falling asleep finally. Okay, well, there's no book back here, so I probably should have saved first. Oh, wait. Well, there was a book back. window. Probably just to hint to me that we're up in that huge tree thing. Oh.
Katarina e now da saya e palo. Yapa ay manay yelepo. Meu tisay. Bekaretere wira pe yelo kene falapo. Tisay. Why te falupe?
I've got the book back. I linked to Riven a week ago. The smell of the place overwhelmed me moments before I could see anything. With my sight only partially cleared, I stood motionless, peering ahead through a dim veil which was slowly shifting. There was a violent clang, and something appeared. I remember breathing slowly and very deeply, tasting the familiar Riven air, but not recognizing a thing. I must have been hit with the dart right away. I thought it was an insect bite at first. I'm trying to remember it all, but it's difficult. Maybe because of the drug. There was a voice. A man I did not recognize stood before me. Rivenese, though he was wearing Denis dress. He seemed to be talking to me, but the poison was already taking effect. A shadow crept in and I fell asleep. Then there were the many voices, but I understood none of them. Like hundreds of people whispering, I couldn't wake up. No matter, the dream did end. And now, to be here with Addie? It's been so many years, I didn't realize how much I missed her. Like a piece of me that I had forgotten I'd lost. She's beautiful and so full of warmth, but the years have also left her with a wound which was not there when we were children. I write quickly from my prison. The person will return your book, which the moiety intercepted upon your arrival. After questioning her, I've concluded that it was written by Atris for a very specific purpose. Gen will desire to use it, although he may have suspicions. If you can find my prison, he will still need the combination to release me. Gen keeps it in his office. Then I assume we're to signal Atris. I think I know how it might be done, but don't signal him before I am released. Okay. Is there anything here? Okay, I just hope they would deduce this simple truth. Okay. I'm gonna have to actually read this, I think. I do wish she were more interested. It seems like I'm asking all the questions. It's awkward. No one asks me where I've been or what I've been doing. This hurts, but I understand it. Their beliefs are born out of ignorance and oppression. They are a gentle people, but they've had their nest destroyed, and now they frantically cling to anything that might save them. But why have they chosen to cling to me? I'm confused. As a child, I always felt out of place here. I never belonged. They misunderstood me, and I couldn't relate to them. But now I'm overwhelmed by an intense feeling that I owe everything to them and this place. I thought I would never see them again, and yet I'm here. I've been given a second chance, but a second chance at what? Saving them? Fulfilling their prophecies? Being their savior? The moiety. Atris would want me to chronicle all that I've learned. I can at least record some of it. It seems that when Atris and I trapped Gen on Riven many years ago, our efforts were witnessed by most of the inhabitants here. Two of the Rivenese even witnessed a confrontation with Gen at the fissure, where I linked back to Mist, and where Atris threw himself into this abyss. Of course, they understood little of what they were seeing, but they somehow were able to guess that we had won, that Gen was no god at all, but only a feeble impostor, false god, and that we had trapped him here on Riven. I always hoped they would deduce this simple truth, but their further conclusions have astonished me. Atris had stripped Gen of his power, therefore Atris must be a true god. As a god, he was choosing me, the spiritual misfit from a Rivenese womb, to be his wife. I was transcending into deity and would lord over Riven forever. Oh god. Thus the moiety, as they call themselves, were formed a dissident society, sworn enemies of Gen. I did not know of their beliefs regarding Atris and myself until 2 days ago. Addie was, for some reason, hesitant to tell me. I can't figure out why. I know she doesn't believe these things. Of course, everyone else assumed that I would be aware of my own god status, so they made no effort to inform me. I only realized it at a recent gathering to which I was invited. I sat at the front of a dimly lit and crowded cave as they told a mythical story of my own life, acting out the battle between Atris, myself, and Gen at the edge of the fissure. The events had been exaggerated into grandiose proportions. It was offensive, but I was unable to stop it. I was unable to break the illusion, which is the very foundation of their hope and purpose, and which has given them courage to band together and rebel against Gen. Since then, I've learned of other doctrines and beliefs that have evolved, the most disturbing of which is the conviction that one day I would return to Riven to face them, or to free them. Some believe that I will overthrow Gen. Others believe that I will bring them to paradise. I don't know how to deal with this. I fight myself. I love these people, my only real kindred, but they will not love me as an equal, which hurts me. I would rather be their slave than their master. Over the years, as Gen's power has become greater and greater, the moiety's numbers have grown, and they have become more and more adept at hiding themselves. They now live in a complex network of caves that he still has not discovered. The moiety, for the most part, have completely severed their relationship with any of the Rivenese that chose against joining them. But I hope they've not sacrificed vital limbs in order to remove the cancer. Even Father and can't read that name are still on the surface in Gen's domains. And I long to see them, but a dimness shrouds Addie's face every time I've mentioned them. since this break took place, they have interfered with the surface in a superficial ways, occasionally sabotaging one of Gen's constructions or stealing food from the villagers. They wear strange masks and costumes during their short forays to the island surface and take this regalia very seriously, uh, refusing to be seen by anyone outside of the moiety unless they are properly attired. They get much pleasure out of the fact that those on the surface are frightened by their costumes, calling them evil spirits or ghosts. It was during one of these expeditions that they fortuitously rescued me from one of Gen's guards when I first appeared on the island. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have been delivered to Gen immediately. I've no doubt that he's now searching for me. Of course, I am now aware that I was fooled. Atris is not here. I was, at first, devastated by this realization. Now I am thankful he would be in extreme peril here. Also, there is a quiet inner voice, an echoing remnant, that wants him far away. I have just witnessed an age dying, gasping its last breath. Today I ventured to the surface to see what has become of this island. I hoped it would not be as bad as the moiety had reported. It was worse. They have become slowly accustomed to its steady decay, but I was devastated. The lips from which the kiss is wrought have fallen words. Has fallen words, will fall cold breath. The womb from which the cry released has suffered heart will suffer a death. To get to the surface, we had to travel through a complex series of doors and passages. Before the last of those doors, they offered me a weapon, which I accepted, and then a mask. I held the mask in my hands for a while, wondering what sort of terror it might invoke in those members of my family who still live on the surface. But I also knew I must keep my identity hidden from Gen's ever vigilant eye, so I accepted. It as well. Then together we swam a short expanse and emerged out of the surface of the ocean under a rocky overhang. The harsh sunlight made my eyes sting, but the fresh, rich air was exhilarating after these past weeks in the dank caves. The two men with me were silent, communicating only with hand signals. The three of us emerged from one hiding place and made our way to the top of the plateau. At the edge of the thick and overgrown area of the forest, they stopped, peered through the foliage for a moment, and then turned to me as if awaiting my command, but could not respond. In fact, I found it difficult to move. I was smelling, hearing, and breathing my youth. This swept over me in a matter of seconds, but in seconds more, all feeling was gone. There was numbness. We did not stay long on the surface, but it was long enough to see the worst. Riven, which was once one island, has split apart into 5 distinct pieces, about a half a mile apart. I'm not sure what that. Of these have been claimed by Gen and is exclusive domain. Only as ministers and personnel militia are ever allowed access to them. 4 of these. From my vantage point at the edge of the forest, I could see 3 of these islands. They were stripped of their former beauty and were riddled with Gen's self-absorbed constructions. The moiety rarely visit these closely guarded places. There was another island which I could not see, as it evidently crept away to a terrific distance. The moiety are very unclear as to what exists on this island, except for the fact that they know it is where the great tree used to exist. Forest is located on the island that the surface dwellers and the moiety still refer to as Riven, but they also still refer to their entire world as Riven. This island is where the village is, which has changed dramatically. It is also the one remaining province of the people, though Gen's influence can be seen everywhere. Of course, I know the reason for the fracturing of the islands. The moiety do not. Gen wrote this place, and it will die, as all of Gen's ages eventually die. I'm trying to see if this stuff is important here. I feel nothing today. I am nothing. I live in a cave on a dying world inhabited by people that they are treating me so strangely. They don't know how to relate to a god. I'm still an outcast here. They whisper amongst themselves, uh, talking of my bravery during my excursions to the surface. How I walked across the islands, bold and unafraid. They don't know me. Even Addie was uncomfortable around me. At times there is no awkwardness, and I am only Katran to her. But other times I am something else. I am afraid. There's such a great numbness inside me. Today I do not feel closeness with my people. Neither am I offended by their worship of me. I do not hate Gen. I do not feel anything. At least Nella, something like that, is still close. I am boiling. Gen is making and writing books. I wish they had told me sooner. Atris uh should have realized this would happen, of course. Gen would have written all of the materials necessary to the Denis craft of making books into this age, and probably every other age he ever wrote. He is attempting to write his way out of here. We did not imprison him. We only delayed him. This age has become his factory, and the people are his machines. All huh? Something in his mad pursuit to become a god, to carry on his noble Denis cause. So far, he has not been able to produce a fully functional book. Atris has never believed in destiny, but I don't know what else to call it. It's too perfect. It's too much of a coincidence. They hang on my every word, though they do not understand them. I am their hope, and now I have returned. I owe this to them. There is no choice. I'm going to sketch that because I know what that is. It has been a long time since my last entry. It is hard to recognize, but I have found the Star Fissure. It is located on the island which the Rivenese called Aleppo, meaning water pool, but which is referred to by the moiety as Alatwan, meaning pool of stars. Having once allowed Atris to escape this age without leaving an open door behind us, it has since been sealed with a skin of heavy iron. A crude telescope has been mounted over a locked viewport, the combination to which was acquired by the moiety before my arrival. Aha! it is this, 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 which is 5. That one's 5. Where did I write the numbers? There we go. Okay, 5, 3, 4, 1, 3. In the early days, and then there's like an arrow pointing to this saying stop. In the early days, the moiety seeking an escape from Riven briefly pursued the idea of reopening the fissure. They discovered a small mechanical stop to prevent the scope from hitting the portal window. Ultimately, however, they decided against opening it. I hate to think what would have happened to them if they had not left it alone. I've instructed them to stay away from it. I'm almost certain that with the decayed state of the islands, opening the fissure now would be disastrous. I have heard that in the days immediately following Gen's confinement on Riven, he attempted to determine the feasibility of navigating the stars beneath the fissure. What? Hey, you're okay. It's okay. He's trying so hard to sleep. For he'd seen the mistbook fall from Atrus's hands into that very same space. To this end, he would have people alleged transgressors of the law thrown into it, so that he could observe their fate. The telescope, which still stands there, is one he had built for these callous experiments. It is said that they did not die, but what became of them remains a mystery. It appears that the limits of Gen's optics prevented him from learning their fate. The star field beneath the fissure is not as it seems. It is a gentle space of as hospitable to life as a flowing river. This is how Atrus explained it after he had fallen into it. But much more than that, we've never understood, and we were never able to conclude upon its origins. But the visions tell me that it was born out of the will of the Maker, perhaps for some greater purpose that we cannot yet understand. I still remember Atrus's words from his journal. I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. Continued following into that starry expanse. There must be some greater reason behind it. I neglected to mention it earlier. The unique shape of one of the great daggers which appeared during one escape from Riven, the very design that stands vertically at one end of the island, has been adopted by the moiety as a symbol of their cause. It is a sacred symbol for them. It is a representation of all their doctrines and the representation of me. To deface the symbol is sacrilege. They have their own mythical explanation regarding its sudden origins. I haven't told them that I wrote it into this age, along with all of the other daggers. It's strange how such a young religion can be so unbending, even to their own god. I have tried to dissuade them of the notion that the symbols contain so much power. The enemy uses this. Hey, you're okay. There you go. Against them. It's paranoia against them. They are fearful of Gen's symbol and are terrorized by his symbolic use of the work. But they don't want to hear this from me. Perhaps my attempts have even caused some of the younger members of the moiety to doubt that I am Catherine. My rare encounters with those who say they follow Gen have been discouraging. I have hoped to have some communication with the surface villagers, but they always flee from me. But I have heard news of some of the villagers' beliefs regarding Gen. Soon after we trapped Gen on Riven, He claimed that he was responsible for the daggers, placing them around the island as a reminder of their failure. In the village circles, it is told that this was a punitive but a punitive act performed by Gen to mark the beginning of a period of restitution, at the end of which, if they had proven their devotion to him, they would be delivered into a new and better existence. I will continue to try to reach them. The door is open and Gen is free. Gen has the ability to create working books. In fact, he had written one age before I arrived, but he has kept this accomplishment so well hidden that only his closest ministers were aware until now. I am not sure. Perhaps he has written others. Other news, a few years ago, before the moiety were forced into hiding, one of them managed to steal what happened to be a test book that Gen had intended to destroy. It had been partially written, but did not work. They didn't tell me about it until now because they thought it was useless. Back then, none of Gen's books worked, but instead of correcting the problem at its source, he blamed it on the impure wood of the Riven forest and proceeded to engineer an cumbersome mechanical remedy, a complex series of domes, to heal his book's inherent flaws. One of the consequences of this crude solution, however, was that the domes demanded huge amounts of energy, and the related problems delayed his success for quite some time. At last, however, he finished his work and was finally able to link to an age, but he kept his success extremely well hidden. However, for some reason or another, belligerent pride, he has made modifications to the domes, which makes it obvious that he's using the domes to breathe life into his half-dead books. Perhaps he means to lure into using the books in the domes. He can't believe that we would lure us into using the books in the domes. He can't believe that we would kindly swallow the suicidal something. But he wouldn't know that we have one of his books, the stolen burnt book. Have read burnt book. Age it describes would be unsuitable as a new home for the moiety. Must be modified. I will dream. Have requested a group to solve combination that will open the domes. Once open, we can power the burnt book. I do not think Gen will interfere. He will leave the bait. I've begun writing the moiety's age. Now must acquire second book from Gen. There's tension. A strain blurs my vision and nightmares. Nella and Adi stay close. Much has happened. Almost everything is prepared. We have stolen another book, but I'm concerned. Gen will miss it. We have also discovered the combinations for entering the domes, but we have not discovered the method for powering them. By powering our burnt book with Gen's domes, we will be able to link to this age, but we will only have access to the domes for a short time, before we are discovered. Therefore, we can only use the domes once. I must find another way to make the books work. The getaway images in Gen's books and our burnt book all seem to share the same sickness. If they are not powered, the images are black. It must be possible to clear the vision with only will write substance into the moiety age. All is ready. Now all we can do is wait for word from the don't know what that. Who are the lookouts for Gen to power and use the domes. who are on the lookout for Gen to power and use the domes. When he does that, we will have access to one of Gen's domes just long enough. After linking to the age which I've written, I only have to locate the book window substance and refine or adapt it. Hey yo, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Essentially, it's story time right now. Okay? Say Okay, my baby's like right next to me trying to sleep. After linking to the age which I've written, I only have to locate the book window substance and refine or adapt it. Laying this window over the gateway image should heal the books and make them work. This will allow me to use the second stolen book and return to Riven with more of the book windows. We will then no longer have to rely on Gen's clumsy domes. I laugh at these plans. I sound like Atris. I'm risking my life, but I feel no fear, only anxiety. Perhaps it is the source of my nightmares, the fissure. Like a great wound is opened, it stains the riven soil with blood. I hold the moiety knife, the voices grow so loud. For their part, the moiety have complete faith that I will accomplish my task and lead them to a better world. It is a fulfillment of their prophecy, but they are also fearful and tense. I don't know what they will think or do if I fail. It is done. It seems too good to be true. I feel like it's all still a dream. We have already evacuated all of the moiety to this new age. It is beautiful, and I am pleased. At last, my people will live in safety and comfort. They stand under the bare sky, unafraid and dazzled by their freedom. They are happy. They have named it Te. There's still much to be done. We are not protected yet. The only way to completely safeguard this place is to destroy the book which links to here from Riven. But I do not even know how to bring this up to the moiety. They will be extremely reluctant about destroying their only link to Riven. I share this hesitation. I would be cutting off my only connection, but for their sake, it must be done. I am anxious to know if our activities have aroused Gen's suspicions. If so, we must act quickly. Even so, I feel that now we are impregnable. Tomorrow I will return to Riven to see Gen's reaction for myself. But tonight I finally rest. Boom. Story time over.
Sira po. Ibuko mo buko wisipo. Na vene. Tapa mo revene beno. Now, Katerina ne. Wisifa polo ya sepe yai.
Hey. So now we have to go back to Gen's world. And then hopefully we can get the combination to Catherine's prison. Oops. I didn't push the button. So we'll definitely save though before we go back. don't have Miss 3 installed, I just realized. Might have to do that really quick during a break. They have the combination to the telescope. We're definitely gonna save here. Save. Before giving book to again. There we go. I'm actually kind of happy that for No Man's Sky, aside from wanting the lightning trail, I'm not like super stoked for any of the expedition
Well
rewards.
done. I was greatly relieved when I received word that you had recovered the book. I don't quite know how you managed it, but if I may, thank you. Perhaps it would be best if you went through first. Apparently you need more time to decide. Please understand, there is nothing I want more than a chance to resolve matters between Atris and myself, especially in light of what has become of Catherine. But unless you are willing to demonstrate to me that your intentions are honorable, I cannot risk it. The sanctuary I've been writing for the islanders is nearly complete. After all these years, it would be a shame if I were unable to finish it. The work I am doing is quite demanding. Please don't signal me unless you've decided to use the book. The switch will reset itself once you link from here.
Okay. Okay, so think that if I go, I'll be okay. And we did just save. Because I do remember that Atris said that if one person goes in, like, it can only hold one person at a time. So if he goes... So if I go in, and then he thinks that it's okay because I went, and then he comes in after me, then it should spit me back out somewhere, right? I guess let's try it. I did just save. Baby is so cute. Okay, so it doesn't let me in yet. I'm gonna try using the book. We'll see what happens. Because Catherine said that, or something said that the combination is in his house.
I'm relieved you've returned. I thought perhaps you had decided against it.
Why? There's nothing wrong with the book.
Here, I shall follow you directly.
Dun dun dun. Sweet. Okay, so that's a non-working Riven book, probably. What does this do? Okay. Can I go outside? No. But there's this here.
Natsu? Shima? Shorate. Mata neta. Tagamem. San botegan shem. Fasi.
easy.
Again, my husband. Okay. That was... Chitter, ding, ding. Chitter? I think. Yes. Okay. Let's check out his book. I start this latest journal with astounding news. Catherine has returned to the Fifth Age, and though it sets my teeth on edge to say it, she has also vanished as quickly as she appeared, stolen from me by the rebels. As my guard tells it, she linked into the Fisher Plateau cage, as I'd guessed, when suddenly he was set upon by a band of rebels who darted him and spirited her away. I suspected the truth of the matter was that he was so dumbfounded at actually witnessing someone link in after all this time that he presented an easy target for whichever rebel had happened by at that moment. The damnable luck of it. He did get a good enough look at her, though, to verify that it was indeed Catherine. He also claims that he inspected all of her belongings and found no linking book on her person, a fact which, if true, makes the question of why she's returned here all the more puzzling. While I am sick with frustration at having lost the only quarry that Cage has ever caught, I am also filled with hope. She may yet provide me with a way back to Denis. It is true that I have managed, despite overwhelming odds, to break free of the confines of the Fifth Age and resume my mission to save my culture from extinction. But I fear that unless I am able to regain access to the vast resources that lie in the city's ruins, the task of reconstructing that great civilization will be impossible. Catherine did bring a linking book with her, then I'm halfway there. If not, then she is trapped in the Fifth Age, and I can assume that my emotionally crippled son will soon be along to rescue her. Either way, it is crucial to my plans that I find her soon. Her presence here now forces me to take the rebels more seriously. I should never have permitted them to survive this long. Once again, the Great Wark has demonstrated its usefulness to me. This past week, the villagers have been most difficult to manage. Apparently, they have learned of Catherine's arrival, and their fear of this mythic beast has been all that has kept them in line. Had I known how truly useful these prodigious creatures would prove to be, I would have perhaps captured more of them while the local population was still plentiful. Although, to be sure, if these disturbances continue, my current pets will be in no danger of perishing for lack of nourishment. Oh, he fed people to them. The search for Catherine continues. I now deeply regret my mistake of having ever taught these primitive people anything at all about the books. It seems that with each passing day, I more sorely realize that the extent to which they were not ready for that knowledge, not even in the simplified manner which I had presented it to them. Their minds, adapted only to the exceptionally menial task of village life, were incapable of comprehending the art in all its complexity, and thus were unable to extract the essential underlying principles that are ironically so elegantly simple. It is obvious that much of the discord that exists between us stems from their failure to grasp the full meaning of the information I gave them. If they'd been able to gain even the smallest glimpse of the future I'd planned for them, then this conflict would not exist. The minds of children are much more malleable. With the proper instructions, they have developed a more appropriate posture towards the culture that gave them their lives. At times, they take to it almost as if they had a bit of Dini blood in them. Given the natives' inborn limitations, however, I'm quite careful that none gain a level of understanding that would permit them to sin against their future the way that Catherine did. How foolish I was to think that she could contain such knowledge responsibly, when it was quite clear that my own son could not. Atris, still he remains one of the greatest disappointments of my life. I should never have left him with my mother. By the time I'd returned to him, he had already been poisoned as to all the thoughts of the Denis. Perhaps it was the only way that she could rationalize the fact that she had been responsible for the collapse of their civilization. So much destruction, so much great lives lost. The guilt must have been unbearable. I do have vague recollections of the love she had for my father and for our world, but ultimately she was an outsider whose ignorance of the Denis became the catalyst for their demise. If I am able to rebuild her culture and in the process correct such crucial weaknesses, then perhaps what she did was ultimately necessary in order that a new era of prosperity might someday come to pass. These last few weeks, I have found myself frequently beset by images from the past. As I stood in the schoolroom today, I was reminded of my own childhood, the years I spent in the Bookmakers Guild, Father's immense pride at each of my small accomplishments there. How many pages are there? A lot of pages. Let's read the last page. It's just essentially he's just having a pity party, trying to say that he's the good guy, and it's like BS. Damn these savages. I would be well advised to leave them all in the Fifth Age and begin again with a clean sheet of paper. A stranger has arrived on Riven with a linking book to Denis, and once again my useless minions was overtaken by the rebels. From what little I could decipher from his muddled explanation, it apparently occurred sometime this morning. The cage has been damaged, but it is no matter. Everything I need is here now. Atris is certainly behind this, yet how could he be so foolish as to send someone with a linking book? Such blatancy is unlike him. Could it be that he has had a change of heart? After all these years, is he finally letting his poor old father go? No, he's only after one thing. Perhaps he should find her. For now, I need only to wait and observe. Okay. Okay, guys, I think this is going to be the end. Prison Island. Is this one? Alright, let's go. Okay, so it's... Okay, hang on, let's reset it. I did it! I guess the big thing is, do we start Exile, or do we try something else?
We have to move quickly. Gen's people may already know what's happening. Once we're back with the moiety, we'll have time to regroup. Can I see the book? You did it. We're all free. You captured Gen. But there's still his followers. I'm not sure what I'll do once I realize he's gone. I'll have to get the villagers to safety as soon as possible. You go back to the Temple Island and reopen the fissure. I know it's risky, but it's the only way to signal Atris. I'll try to make it back there as soon as I can, but don't wait for me. Don't forget, the portal combination's in my journal. Good luck.
Because I could either start Exile, I could do some art, or we could try the No Man's Sky expedition, but it's been all of my new saves that have been created since Echoes, which is only 2 of them. One permadeath save and the expedition save since the Echoes update. They've been crashing. Wait, why is this going? There we go. I guess probably because she went inside of it. I think, though, that once we're done the Mist series, I might be able to try and hop back into Immortals Phoenix Rising and Elden Ring. Elden Ring will be iffy, but Immortals Phoenix Rising should be okay. Then I have to try and make sure my, okay, done that. So this one is... No. Nope. Nope. This one. I'm really hoping the 360 still works. I don't see why it wouldn't. It would just be kind of if something happened during, I don't even want to say during the move, because... But I haven't started it up in a while, so... Guys, I'm so excited. This is the end, I think. This is it. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Mist 3, art. an attempt, possibly most likely failed attempt at No Man's Sky. Let me know what you guys would like to see after this. What? Why did this get closed? Oh, probably because they... got pissy and reset everything. So... I'm trying to think of the easiest one to go back to. It's probably going to be Village Island. It's probably going to be the easiest to go back to, I think. Because that's the one that's the least likely to have something that got screwed up by somebody. I think that unless anybody has any preferences, I'm going to try and do Mist 3 next. And that's what we're going to do. So if anybody wants to see something other than that, speak up before we finish. Okay, so that page has been torn out. That's Map Island. That could work. I'm gonna go to the donut instead. Nope. So we know that one works. That one's not gonna do anything. Can we do Map Island? No. Okay, so we can only do Dome Island. Oh wait, am I just overthinking this? I might be overthinking this. It might have just been a lever I could pulled. I'm always forgetting to just like push buttons and pull levers. All right, let's go. Because I think, if I'm right, I think the lever is like on that side, so I could have just pulled the frickin' lever. Yeah. that not it? Yeah, that should be it. That should be the combination, no? Um, okay. Is it backwards? 5, 3, 4, 1, 3. Okay, I was pushing the wrong numbers then. That's BS. But that's okay. Pretty. Nope, still looks the same. Uh-oh. Are we sure this is what we were supposed to do? I broke the planet.
There isn't much time. Where's Catherine?
Boom, I
Where's
know.
the book?
Hate to chill.
I don't.
The villagers are safely in the Rebel Age. I thank you.
As do I. You've accomplished more than I could have hoped for. You've given me back my life. The path home is now clear for all of us. This is where our paths must part. Perhaps we'll meet again someday.
But how am I supposed to get off?
Goodbye, my friend.
Dude! Dude! Come on! Dude, just like...
Now I understand. Endings and beginnings are within the fissure. That riven cleft of stars that access both a wall and a bridge. And though I am unable to understand how, the very flow of stars that brought my mistbook into worthy hands, I am sure served as a safe passage home for my friend. The age of Riven is closed forever, but the people of Riven are free. And now I am at rest, understanding that in books and ages and life, the ending can never truly be written.
He just sacrificed me and said, I'm sure she'll be fine. How you doing, Tuchio? Hope you're having a good holiday. Rip, I know. I was not realizing that I was like that close to the end, so I didn't install Myst 3, so I'm gonna have to do that really quick. Oh, it's not a holiday there, but you had one last week. Okay, okay. I mean, arguably every day's a holiday for me, so... Well, could be a holiday. Kind of the benefit when you do your own thing. That said, I never get a holiday with this little one. I work at streaming. I'm working at streaming. Well, I mean, what I mean though, it's like between like, because I'm doing the streaming and I am trying to get, I'm trying to see if my quality will be up to par enough to try and get a Unity store going. So I mean, but I work for myself, right? It's like, if I decide to just fuck off for a week, I can just fuck off for a week. So... Oh! That said, it is very nice to be back to streaming nearly every day. Which is... Although, I think I said this yesterday, I'm gonna be taking Friday off, or Wednesday off today, this week entirely, and then, at least one day I'm gonna have to do probably at least a half day. Mux has to try and get into the dentist. Like semi-emergency level, so I'm gonna go with him just in case he's left in a state where he can't drive home, so. But. Oh, and Tuchia, I don't know if you saw, so I looked it up. I looked up Blue Dragon on the Unity store, and there is one, and it looks... I don't want to say terrible, because that's mean. But... like, it's not even necessarily that bad, but like the front tendrils just do not look right at all. Like, at all. So. There you go. All right. Well, I'm going to take a short break and I'm going to go see how Mux is doing while Riven 3 Myst 3 downloads. We've got really fast internet, so it hopefully shouldn't be too long. like so long that I can't keep going. So that said, I don't know if I'll have enough time before dinner to really get going with it. Grip. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take go for a break though. I will be right back.